Hey there and welcome. For those of you who are new, I am Maz, and on this channel we talk about car related topics and tech related topics. For those of you who have been here before, welcome. Today we will give a long-term review of the Xpel paint protection film I have on my 2018 Mustang GT, and also we will try to remedy some rock chips I have on the car where we don't have any paint protection film. So for that I will be using something called Chipex, which is similar to Dr. Color Chip. Maybe you're familiar or more familiar with that. However, I have used Dr. Color Chip previously, but not the Chipex. So it is going to be interesting to see if it's easier or any better than Dr. Color Chip. So let's get on with the video. As you may have seen from the intro, I have the Xpel paint protection film on various parts of the car. I have the so-called extended kit. So it's the hood, the front fenders, the headlights, the parking lights, and the front bumper. However, the upper and lower grille and the splitter are not protected. And moving back, we have Xpel on the rear view mirrors, on the A-pillar, and also on the roof. I don't know if you can see where the film is applied on the A-pillar and on the roof. It's approximately maybe 10 inches onto the roof then. Looking further down, the lower portion of the door is covered with Xpel paint protection film, and also the rear bumper is protected with paint protection film as well. But I have a custom piece made on each side of the rear fenders in front of the rear tires. I don't know if you can see this line, but the whole area here is covered with PPF in order to protect the rear fenders. I have been running with 20-inch rims on the summer and with 295 section rear tires, and as you can see, this part still looks like new. However, before I had time to, or actually had the opportunity to apply the Xpel film, I got rock chips on this panel, so I'm really glad this went on as soon as possible. And as you can see, on the rear bumper, it also looks like new. I do then have splash guards during winter time, which helps a lot as well. Moving on forward, the doors are still intact, no rock chips either on the where the film has been applied, nor on the doors in general. Look at that shine, yes, so good. Moving to the front of the car, the front fender still looks like new. There are no rock chips either beneath the paint protection film or in the film itself. And also then I'm having splash guards on the front during winter period. And of course then I'm running 20-inch rims on the summer. Moving to the front of the car is where we obviously see the most rock chips which have damaged the paint protection film. I have two nasty ones over here. I don't know if it comes through in the video. There we have them. Most likely not. So these two have actually gone through the paint protection film, and I'm not sure if the paint beneath it is damaged. We have rock chips which is actually beneath the paint protection film, which I got before the film was applied. Same here. I have seen some rock chips that have actually damaged the paint as well on the front bumper. Here is one big boy, but I mean in general it has done its job extremely well. I have driven the car 14,000 kilometers, which is 8,900-ish miles I think, or 8,700 miles, and from that perspective most parts of the car look like brand new, which is really awesome. And also I know I have got hit by rocks on the roof, etc. But the only part where I have a rock chip is actually where the paint protection film is not covering it. So in general, it has done its job really, really good, and it has saved me a lot of headache. So you might wonder, is it any different to maintain compared to the rest of the car where I don't have any paint protection film? And the answer to that is no. You would wash your car as you would normally do. However, you would be a bit more careful when applying or washing it with your pressure washer around the edges, etc. And God forbid you're not using one of those jet nozzles or whatever they are called, because that would mess up your paint anyway potentially. So please stay away from that. You can apply wax or ceramic coatings, etc. on the paint protection film. I actually have ceramic coating on mine, and I do apply sacrificial layers of CarPro's Reload or Meguiar's Fast Finish or PNS Bead Maker, etc. However, when applying wax, there are different techniques to use. Check out Larry at Ammo NYC on YouTube on how to do that. Also, I have not seen any, how should I say, the paint protection film getting any yellow color, etc. or discoloration or anything like that. I mean, if you maintain it as you would with your paint, I would think the longevity of the paint protection film will be really good. Another neat feature with the XPEL film or similar are that they are so-called self-healing. Light scratches, etc. will actually self-heal when the paint protection film is heated up, either being it out in the sun, or you could use a hairdryer, etc. to remedy that part. But if you have a deep scratch, that will not be fixed. However, the scratch will hopefully then be on the paint protection film and not on your paint. If you are thinking of buying a new vehicle and also applying paint protection film, my advice to you is to do it as soon as possible, or even at the dealer if possible. I picked up my car on a Saturday and I drove some 300 miles and I had it through Sunday, and on the Monday I actually had the time to install the XPEL film. But during those 2 days, given that okay, the paint on the Mustangs are very delicate, I actually managed to get rock chips on the hood and also on the rear fender. So that is something to keep in mind if you want to install paint protection film and you're doing it on a new vehicle. My proposal for you is to do it as soon as possible. The nice advice, Einstein, do it as soon as possible. If you ask me if it was worth installing the PPF, because it costs quite a lot of money, I think around, I don't know, in Sweden it's around $2,300 to do the similar thing that I have done. In US it might be a bit cheaper, and elsewhere I'm not sure. However, being a guy having OCD, for me it is well worth it. Also because it helps keeping the residual value of the car as high as possible, because you're reducing the amount of rock chips you will get on your car. And also other benefits is that you don't have to worry about driving your car in wintertime if you do that, or if you live in places where there is quite a lot of stones, etc. on the road, and you will have a free peace of mind and don't have to worry of getting rock chips every time you go out and drive your car. So for the second part of the video, we will be talking about the Chipex and how it is to apply, and also what results we will get. Because as I might have mentioned, I mean, I got rock chips. So the paint protection film ends here, and I have 2 big rock chips on the roof or A-pillar, or I don't know what part of the vehicle that is. So these we will try to fix with the Chipex. These are quite big actually, I don't know if it comes through in the video. And also we have got rock chips on both sides of these bulging beautiful rear fender parts. As you can see here, I have 3 of them, and I have the same on the other side. So let's walk through of what is included in the Chipex package. As I mentioned, there are similar type of products, one being Dr. Color Chip, but I wanted to test out the Chipex because I have been using the Dr. Color Chip on a previous vehicle and wanted to see the differences. So this is how the product is shipped. It actually came in a blue plastic bag, And let's open it up and see what's inside. So what do we have here? So we have some microfiber cloths and also some brushes to apply, or small tip brushes to apply the paint. We have a sponge. I would assume this would be used in the applications after the paint has been applied, to actually wrap the microfiber cloths around and do the buffing and so on. We have the actual paint. So this is the lightning blue for the Mustang. When you're ordering the Chipex product, you provide your paint code or the type of brand and vehicle and so on and year, and then you get the available colors. So I would say most of the colors available on the different vehicles out there is represented. We then have 2 bottles, it seems, of a blending solution. So I would assume you use this once the paint has been applied and you smear the paint around, so to speak, or the residue of it. And also I think I have read that this is also used to clean the surface, so you don't have any waxes or etc. in the area where you want to apply the paint. We then have a polishing compound, which is then to be used to polish out the parts which you have been painting. Again, then I'm not too fond of using this, but for the sake of the video and the review, I will actually use all the parts and products provided by Chipex, but I will try to minimize the area where I'm working on, so I don't actually damage anything or get different types of colors, etc. by smudging everything around in for the whole portion of the roof, so to speak, or similar. Also included is another microfiber cloth. I would assume this is used to be when you're buffing the paint, and also plastic gloves, which is also always important to remember to use plastic gloves when you're working with chemicals. Let's put this somewhere safe. And then we have the invoice, and we have the instructions, and then we have some marketing material. So let's get on with applying the Chipex. So the paint needs to be thoroughly shaped. As you can hear, it's like regular spray cans with a metal ball inside. So you want to have the paint mixed up as much as possible before you start. The next step is then to take one of these micro brushes and dab the paint into the rock chips, and then you take your finger and you dab it further, and then you let it cure for, depending on how much paint you have applied, 1 to 2 minutes and a maximum of 15 minutes, and also it depends on the ambient temperature, etc. At the moment we have around 19 degrees Celsius in the garage, so it should cure pretty quickly. Once that is done, we will take the blending solution together with the silk cloth and the foam pad we got, and just gently move it across the surface. So I will dab the micro brush into the paint solution. Just ensure not to take too much, and gently dab it on the places where we have the rock chips. And then, according to the instructions, you're supposed to dab it with your fingers on the applied paint. So we are to smear it flat with the fingers. It's already starting to dry up. I can see already now that we need to do this several times to get this fixed. So once the paint has dried, you can tap it with your finger and look. And it's a bit difficult with the black gloves, but if there are any, it's not sticking to the glove, you can then start applying the blending solution and gently swipe across the area. Gently without applying any pressure at all. So I can clearly see a second coating will be needed. So I'm not sure if this is coming through. As you can see, we have some paint in it, but it has not fully covered. So we will redo this process until we have a result which we are okay with. I have been at it now multiple times. I don't know how many layers I've been adding according to the instructions. And as you can see, there is more or less no difference at all. It's just a hint of blue color or paint in those areas. I will do the rest of the chips, rock chips, and we will see the results of those as well. However, just judging by these, I am not happy at all with the result because nothing has more or less happened here. So the last step is to apply the buffing or the compound which they have provided in the kit. The reason for that is the silk applicator actually induces micro scratches in the paint. So I will try to remove this with these. If that doesn't work, then we have to bring out the polisher. So this is the end result after the buffing and so on. As you can see, it's quite clear to see that there are rock chips there still. The color is a bit different as well. It's not matching 100% fully. And also we have the bigger one which we had up here. Let me see if I can get it into focus. Here we can also see quite clearly that it's has been a rock chip there. Alright guys, there you have it with the application of the Chipex. For me, the results are not what I was expecting. It's quite clear to see that there has been rock chips there. You can see a hint of another type of blue than the lightning blue as well. So, and it's not fully covering the whole chip then. I have reapplied multiple times and redone it according to the instructions, but unfortunately without any better result than what I actually got then for the part I got here and also on the rear fenders on both sides of the car. So for me, I would say the Dr. Color chip also was easier to apply than the Chipex. What I will do most likely is to order a set of the Dr. Color chip for the lightning blue and redo the same procedure, and we will see if the results are any better or not. I hope the information also with regards to the paint protection film was any good to you, and if you have any questions at all, just hit me on the comments below and I will answer them. Give me 2 thumbs up, subscribe, and until the next time.